Welcome back, everybody. Aesop Grim here, and this is the continuation of our Elden Ring Chronicle for the Mountaintops of the Giants zone. And I've got some good news and some bad news. and I've made a decision that I think a lot of people might consider to be extreme, but I've thought about it, and I think it's the best way to go. So the good news is that I have to burn the Erd Tree. That's an inevitability in this game. I didn't know that before. I've been playing this character the entire time as somebody that was going to save the Golden Order or represent the Golden Order. He's the last Sentinel, all that good stuff. But and there is an ending that fits for that, but it's maybe not along the lines that I was thinking it was. And so anyway, the point being, burning the Erd Tree did not stick me on a certain path, namely the three fingers. It did not do that, and I was really concerned that it did. It is instead an inevitability. No matter what ending you go for, you're going to burn the Erd Tree. That's what I found out. That's what it looks like to me. I looked at a couple different videos. So that's the good news. The bad news is that the burning of the Erd Tree is the first, red line in this game. It's a point of no return. When you do that, it lops off certain quests. I guess Lendell Capital is in ashes now, and there are some things that are unattainable. And so my initial plan was to go ahead and follow Fightin' Cowboy's guide to finish up the Mountaintops of the Giants. We would be leaving the Farum, crumbling ruins of Farum. We would leave that for later. I would come back, I would follow Fightin' Cowboy's guide for Mountaintops of the Giants. I would then look up how to get into the Haligtree area. I was considering just racing through that, not even worrying about Fightin' Cowboy's guide, just doing that as quickly as I could, coming over here, clearing out what I could find out on my own of the crumbling ruins of Farum, and then going and completing the final boss fight and finishing this game up for the first time. That's not a bad choice, in my opinion. That's very doable. And it's reasonable, and it gets me a completion, which is appealing because I'm level 142, so I'm getting close to 150. That seems to be what people use as a standard for builds, right? And I've got 183, almost 184 hours into this game. So not a bad choice. And then we would do finishing up Mountaintops of the Giants would complete this chronicle. The next chronicle would be closing out whatever I'm still able to do in these zones here now that the Erd Tree has been burned. So I can't do everything, right? And then the chronicle after that would be preparing for New Game Plus. And then we would start a New Game Plus and do a different build. That was my original plan. But as I started doing research, particularly on New Game Plus, where several videos were telling me, pick out the ending that you want to go for, right? So I had that in my mind. So then I watched a video about the different endings that are available. At this point in time, I've reached a point in the game where I don't feel like those are really spoilers very much. I've uncovered the vast majority of the game, and I know who I face over here. I mean, you could figure that out on your own just by playing the game. I didn't need a video to tell me who I was going to face here as a final boss. And so just finding out what the different endings were so you could decide from the very beginning what quest lines you want to pursue and stuff like that didn't feel like a spoiler for myself. So I went and checked that out. And as I checked that out, I learned that you can do New Game Plus up to, well, you can do it inevitably, but it will get consecutively harder up to 7 times. Once you hit New Game Plus 7, and I guess these are called journeys. So it would be journey number 7. Every journey after that is at the same difficulty level as Journey 7. But Journey 2 is harder than Journey 1, Journey 3 harder than Journey 2, Journey 4 harder than Journey 3, etc., right? And so as I learned about that, and I learned about the different endings and stuff, what became apparent to me is that if I'm going to do something where I have multiple journeys with a baseline character that I've made, where all I have to do is respec and then go and select to start my New Game Plus, then I want that to be a wretch. Because when you respec, you cannot go any lower on points than what your default class allowed for. And a wretch starts out at all zeros. So it gives you the most flexibility. Also, in addition to that, this character that I'm playing right now, the Last Sentinel, I think he is actually better attuned with the Mimic Tier follower and the buffs and his survivability in the region of health to be a better character for a New Game Plus playthrough rather than a first playthrough. Plus, a lot of his buffs, there are several of these incantations that you cannot get until you're very nearly done with the game, and I think even one of them you don't get until you are done with the game and you've defeated the final boss. So it's actually totally designed for a New Game Plus. And so I figured I would play him again, this build again, once I ran through an original play with a wretch. And my original play, now that I've seen enough of the game, I'm going to go back to following Fightin' Cowboys walkthrough guide so that original playthrough with my wretch, he's going to get me a really strong start, because that's how that guide opens up, right? And we'll go through and we will be able to get all of the weapons, all of the armor, all of the cookbooks, because he'll walk you through all that stuff, right? And basically it'll help us check off all of the things that we want to have done on a checklist prior to starting a New Game Plus. So I hope I'm making sense there. To me, by wiping this character and starting over with a wretch, I'm setting myself up for better options in my future New Game Plus attempts, right? And I think it's going to go faster too. So I'll talk more about that in the intro video for my next character. I've already decided I'm going to do a dexterity-based blood build. I'm really intrigued by Arcane, but as I understand it, Arcane, a lot of the dragon spells are not available until late game, so that's probably a New Game Plus style that I would want to do. But a blood build, you can do that from the get-go. And so not a whole lot of magic. Well, actually, I might. Yeah, anyway, I'll talk about it more in the intro video, because I think I'm going to do 3 fingers for that one. I've already got a character made, a pre-made face that without any intent, I have a burn scar on it. And so that would actually, now that I've seen a little bit of the endings for the Lord of Flame, it actually makes a lot of sense. It would add up really well. So anyway, that's the plan, guys. I'm going to close this Chronicle. I'm going to close this series. I'm going to destroy this character. Part of the reason also is not just because I want to start out as a wretch, but this character, I messed up the face a little bit. It's a little hard to tell here. Oh, he's got a burn mark also. But his eyes are like googly-eyed. His eyes don't look right. Actually, they don't look too bad right here. It's hard to see. I've definitely seen him before where he doesn't look quite right. So I have another face made that I think will be better. Maybe I redid his face. I might have selected that new face that I made. I'm not for sure. But anyway, that's all neither here nor there, to be quite honest. So we are going to be starting over again, and I know it's an extreme kind of take, but I think it's best for the long run. Let's kill this guy. Take that. What do we have here? Class 7 smithing stone. Alright, not that any of that matters because I'm going to be wiping this character. But, I guess that'll close it out. I'm all chatty. I've never known how to wrap things up. I'm not good at it. Alright, guys. Again, I'm Aesop Grim. Thank you for coming by the channel. I hope you like what you saw, even though this is a pretty, I consider it a pretty radical move. And there is some disappointment involved here. But it's not soul-crushing disappointment. It's more like try again. Like, I understand what I'm doing. It's disappointment wrapped in potential, future potential. So anyway, again, I'm Aesop Grim. Thank you for coming by the channel. Hope you like what you saw. Hope all is going well for you in 2023. And I'll see you in the next Chronicle where that story begins.